Good.
Okay. All right. We're trying to wait for
We're trying to wait for the guests. Okay. The guests are will soon join us. We're trying to wait for them. Yeah. So I'll be right back. I'm just trying to give them some minutes so they finish up what they're doing and join us. Sorry. Okay. All right. Welcome, Mr. Abdraman. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me like 2 minutes or so. Let me get settled.
Okay. 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 All right. We're waiting for our guests to get settled so we can start already. We're waiting for our guests to get settled so we can start the show. Just hang on there. If you're watching, just subscribe. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe the button below. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'll bring to you mouth-watering football content every week. So we're trying to get our guests. My guests are trying to get settled so they can start the show. So just give them some minutes while they get settled. Okay. All right. Please share this link. Share this link and tell somebody to join in. We're about to start discussing football. Everything trending about football. All right. Okay. Just keep sharing the link while our guest gets ready to start the show. Give me some minutes. I'll be right back.
All right, Godwin. Good
Okay.
evening.
All right. Good evening. Thanks for. I hope I didn't interrupt your prayer and all of that.
No, 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 no.
Okay. We're still waiting for our guest, the other guest. So he's also driving at the moment. So he just take permission that he's going to park somewhere and just so we can just do the show. So welcome again, viewers, to the show. This is a show where we analyze the trending topics in football, the trending story in football, and also preview the EPL and La Liga games. But we also preview the MPFL game, but the MPFL is not. They've not started the MPFL at the moment, so there's no MPFL games to analyze at the moment. So it's just the EPL and La Liga games. All right, all right. For those that are watching, you can see on the trailblazer there, the title of our show today is Erik Ten Hag to blame for Man United woes. So just start with you, Brahmanshi, before my other guest start. Do you think Erik Ten Hag is to blame for all Manchester United problem at the moment? Do you think he has a portion of blame to be like he has his own part to play in what has been the downfall of Manchester United at the moment? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. The coach has a part in the blame for how Manchester United has been crumbling this season because
When you look at it, I guess he didn't handle, for me, he didn't handle the Jordan Sancho issue very well, because if a coach doesn't want a player in his plan, then there are ways of going through, or going, displaying that you don't want that player in your plans. But you going back and forth with the player in the media really doesn't have anything, doesn't really make any sense, because we saw him having the same issue with Cristiano Ronaldo. A lot of people were saying, okay, Cristiano Ronaldo has his own issue as well as a player. But right now, it seems like Erik Ten Hag has an issue with man management, because there are a lot of rumors coming out of the dressing room that he has some players that are his favorite in the dressing room, that no matter what they do, he see nothing wrong in what they do. And other players are not happy about how he has handled things like that in the team. So for Erik Ten Hag, he has a hand in how life has been for him this season presently in the English Premier League and across all tournaments as well. We saw them in the UEFA Champions League, even though the performance was a bit better than what we've seen in the English Premier League, but maybe because they were playing against a top side that was playing end-to-end stuff, as in having playing free flow football without packing the bus. So I guess that was why the game was a bit open, and we saw a little bit of what Manchester United could offer against a team that was playing a free-flowing football. But overall, the coach has a blame. He has a portion of the blame, because last season we saw the team a little bit of improvement of the team, because they were able to win a trophy last season. But right now they've struggled woefully. Manchester United have been struggling this season, and we don't really know what's happening with Manchester United. So looking at the squad as well, they brought in Onana, they brought in Pelestri, they brought in Hodland, and these are some players who could improve the team. But overall, when you look at it, for me, I still feel Amrabat Amrabat is one of the best signing, even though he hasn't played. But overall, is one of the best signing they've had so far, because these are the kind of players Manchester United, as a football club, need to be signing. They need to stop signing players with profile, or players who are big money moves or big money transfer players. They need to go after players who have something to prove or have something to add to the team. So for me, if Amrabat can come in and play the kind of football we've seen him play at Fiorentina, and as well the kind of football he has been playing for the Moroccan national team, there, it will be a good one for them. But for Erik Ten Hag, he needs to change his man management, how he handle the players, if he wants to still have a future at Manchester United, because this is a team that a lot of coaches have come. You've had Luis Van Gaal post Fergie era. You've had Luis Van Gaal. You've had Jose Mourinho, and these coaches have come and suffered in that team. You've had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, who to me played some pretty football but wasn't able to win trophies for Manchester United. And right now you have Erik Ten Hag, who is struggling. So for me, if he wants to get the trust of these players, he should allow these players to actually uh, understand him, and as well him understanding the players as well, and know what they like and know what they don't like, because these players are adults. These are not under 12 or under 16 players or under 20 players, where you can come in as a manager and be a little bit hard on the players. But these are players as well who, some of them have children as well of their own, so you need to treat them as adults as well. So for the Erik Ten Hag, he needs to change his man management skills.
All right, I'll come back to you. Shoot you on some thoughts on that. And I still have a question to ask you about that. Let me go to Michael. Michael, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you very much. I can hear you.
All right. Okay, we were just discussing about Erik Ten Hag and Manchester United. And like I said, is Erik Ten Hag to blame for the Manchester United woes at the moment? Is it to blame for Manchester United troubles at the moment? Is Erik Ten Hag to blame? What are your thoughts, sir?
Okay. Good morning. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I'm back again on this show again. It's been a long time. So to me, Ten Hag should be 50% blame, like partially blame for what is happening to the team. It is not all down to the players alone. The manager is going to spend the power of ball and fixing the players. Look at the recent pattern for the past 3 games now. If I'm Ten Hag, I shouldn't be starting Rashford. I will put him on the bench so that he know that he is this to be serious game. Instead of lazing around, not falling back to defend for his players, staying at the front alone. So he needs to take a very firm feet on the players. If not, it should be his head on the chopping block. On chopping block. So to my belief, Ten Hag 50% will blame, and the players should also have the impact of forcing the team of playing a bad football this time around. It's a 50 chance.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Shitu. I wrote an article after the game
Hello,
against
can you hear me?
Brighton. I said that. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear. I'll come back to you, Michael. I'm going to shoot now. I wrote an article after the game against Brighton because I was so sad being a Manchester United fan myself. And I said these players they can't run to save their life. You think these players are more should be apportioned more of the blame than the coach because the coach has done his own part by analyzing the opponents and giving them a tactics to follow. But these players, you can see their opponent running through them very easily. I watched the Brighton game. Look at the midfield. Look at the first goal. Look at the second goal. Look at the third goal. If you're just on the players lacklusterness and all of that. So I don't think. What do you think the players are not doing right? It's not just the coach. Let's just take our eyes from the coach now. What do you think the players are not doing right, Mr. Shitu?
Yeah, for Manchester United Football Club, this is a football club that has pampered a lot of players from the salaries they are paying these players. These players are some of the most highest paid players in world football. That's in terms of European football. Most of these players earn money where if they play in other football clubs in Europe, they won't earn half of that money. And these players are earning such amount of money. So I guess the team as well has over pampered some of these players and they feel entitled. And that's why some of them don't really want to leave the team because the kind of money this team offered to pay them as their wages. And as well, these players as well, they've not been able to prove anything to the fans as well. Most of these players are not Manchester United products. Some of these players are not products at that level of Manchester United. Most of these players are players. When you look at maybe you look at Casemiro, after he has played some of his best years in Real Madrid, he's been shipped out to Manchester United. You look at Varane as well, plays the best years for Manchester United, shipped to from Real Madrid, shipped to Manchester United. You have this other player who has played for Tottenham Hotspur as well in your midfield, Eriksen as well, who battled with some illness as well, is back for Manchester United. So if you look at that team, you have some players who are not at that level to be playing for Manchester United, who are playing for Manchester United. You look at the left back, right back. You look at Dalot. You look at Rigurion, who is deputizing for sure. So you look at some of these players, players who have gone to some club sides and have not stamped their authority in those club sides, and they are coming in to start for Manchester United. So it has shown how Manchester United has fallen below the radar, having players who are not up to standard, and as well, most of these players are over pampered. So they have their own blame as well. They have their own blame in this issue as well, because when you look at the performances have been below par. If you look at it, and as well, you cannot blame Onana because some of those goals he has conceded, some of those goals are due to.
Yeah, we're coming to Onana. We're coming to Onana. All right, we're coming to Onana. So, okay. Let me just allow you to end your thoughts. I think you're trying to say something.
Yeah. So when you look at the overall performance, the players have been woeful, and they need to look at themselves in the mirror and try to analyze themselves as well. Have they been doing well for the fans? Have they been fair to the fans who are supporting them, who are traveling to watch them week in, week out? Have they been fair to the home fans who are season ticket holders? Have they been fair to those fans who are spending their hard-earned money to watch the club, to follow the club, to buy the product of the club? Have these players been fair to those fans? They need to ask themselves those thought-provoking questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdurrahman. Michael, are you there? Michael, are you there? I hope we've not lost you due to network. Michael, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost Michael. Michael, if you can hear me, just unmute your mic and let me know. Okay, going to Onana now. You think Manchester United made a mistake in selling in sheltering canceling De Gea's contracts to get in Onana? Do you think in some of those mistakes that Onana has been making, you think De Gea would have done better? What are your thoughts?
Yes, for De Gea as well, he has considered some worse goals that are worse than the one Onana has considered as well. But due to the age difference, Onana is a younger goalkeeper who should not make such schoolboy errors, because when De Gea was younger, he was the one saving Manchester United. He was Manchester United player of the season for close to 2 or 3 seasons. So that shows that, yes, okay, for De Gea, his best years are away behind him. But for Onana, who you are investing such money to bring in, he should show some level of concentration as well, some level of finesse in his performances. But that has not been seen in his performances so far. But still, he was brought in to change the tactics, to rejig the tactics of Manchester United, because the coach wants to play with more of the ball. He wants to play with a ball playing goalkeeper. But one thing people fail to understand is that if you want to have a ball playing goalkeeper, then you as a team as well needs to be a possession based football club side. Because Ederson is not one of the best goalkeepers in world football, but because he's playing in a team that possesses the ball, possesses the opponent, he tends to be on holiday most times. But when he's being called to action, then you see him behaving like a world-class goalkeeper, because most of the time he's always on holiday. So when he's been called into action, he's been able to pull one or two saves. But for Onana as well, he's not playing in as well. When he was in Inter Milan, he was playing a system that has a 3-5-2 formation. When they are defending, they have 5 players defending. So he is always protected. But he's in a Manchester United Football Club side that plays a 4-2-3-1 formation, where if they lose the ball, the defenders will be overstretched. And he as well is not one of the best goalkeepers when it comes to saves, because even last season, David De Gea still has more save percentage than Onana. That tells much about the goalkeeper you're bringing in to replace David De Gea, who plays for Manchester United, who were not winning the league, or who were not at the top of the English Premier League. But you have a goalkeeper coming from Inter Milan who has a lot of defenders protecting him, still don't have save percentage more than David De Gea that you are replacing. So it tells much about the story of Andre Onana, and he needs to wake up if he wants to salvage his Manchester United career, because the fans could just be patient for a bit with him. But for Manchester United, they've had other goalkeepers like that. There was a time they had Fabian Barthez as well. So it's not the first time Manchester United are having some goalkeepers who are of that characteristic. But let's see how, and hope that he can bring out his A game.
All right. Let us leave Manchester United for the moment. We'll come back to them.
Yeah, sorry,
Mr. Mike,
Godwin, can you hear me? Can you hear me,
I
Godwin?
can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Concerning, he was mentioning about Anderson. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, go on.
He was talking about Anderson of Man City. Yeah, I was talking about Anderson of Man City. He was saying, to me, I believe he's a world class, because looking at his coming from Benfica, he has many saves in Benfica. That was what Man City saw in him, and he bought him. So you can't say he's not one of the best keepers in the world. If you are mentioning top 7 keeper in the whole world now, Anderson is among them. If you mention less of Alisson, Courtois, who else again? You pick Anderson as the 3rd or 4th before you come to any other keeper again. So I won't say he's lucky to have a very good defender that out to his own game, but you can't say Anderson is not a very good keeper. You can't compare Anderson to the time of Vardes of Barca. So to me, Onana is not either at that level of that world-class keeper yet. Because as a world-class keeper, you have to be good all round. At least you have to take 70% in all round football as a keeper. He's good on his feet, very good. But is he keeping clean sheets? No. His record at Inter Milan last season, he has only 8 clean sheets throughout the whole season in the league. Why the year that he sold has 16 clean sheets? That is times 2 of it. So for him to reach that level of that world class, you have to be having that kind of save. Look at the save. Even if I want to pick, I'll pick Ramsdale and David Raya with even the Pope ahead of Onana right now. Because he's good at his feet, same to Raya, same with Ederson and Alisson. But is he good at saving football? He's not good at that. He's not keeping clean sheets. Now you have considered, I think, 40 to 15 goals in just how many matches, just 6 games. So he needs to work on his own assets, and he should keep calm. He talks too much again. That's not his problem. He talks too much. He should stop talking and focus on his game. So look at when I saw a video of him saying, I don't give a fuck about player, about anything. I don't understand him. He came to a team there tackling the then cool captain of the club, Maguire. Nobody is happy to him. He's applying him now. He needs to stick on his game and focus on his game more. If not, he'll beat you. He's another that will bring head of the net. That's the only thing. If you continue this way, I'm sorry to say you'll be head of the net that's connected. And be a very big loss, man. That's my take on that.
Okay, Michael says Onana will be the end of Erik Ten Hag if he continues like this way. Okay, let's just move from Manchester United. Let's go to Arsenal now. I'll come to you, Shit, but let me go to Michael because I'm an Arsenal fan. Do you think Arsenal can still rival City for the title this season, or do you think maybe Liverpool or probably my Brighton or a new or Tottenham will come in? Do you think Arsenal have what it takes to rival City again for the title this season, Michael?
Okay. If you are being real with ourselves, I'll look of the team that played last season, they improved more. And let work on his mistake not signing the player in need. Apart from the deal of Kayabas, all the players he signed are what he needs. Like what Gary was saying, he go after a match at the Champions League. He made a statement. He said he sold Lennon because he could not give him what he wants. He bought in Ramsdale to get him to top four. And he brought in now the player to get him to be. So if you are being real with us, don't be biased. You see that the closest rival to Manchester United is Arsenal. Liverpool told the player they are coming for the pick the two people that will give Man City for their money or pick Arsenal for the Liverpool second. But I don't see anybody still picking Man City rather than Arsenal this season. Brighton, Tottenham, we see how they go along the line. Now Brighton is in Europa League now. Let's say they will cope in Europa League. Now Tottenham is not picking the but can they last for 20 games? We did tempo they are fine, they're good now. But Sunday will tell how they are on stand. So to me, I believe Arsenal is closest to Man City than Liverpool for because of the club factor.
Okay, Shit, I'm coming to you now. Do you also agree with Michael that Arsenal are closest to Man City in the league now, or do you think Liverpool can just are just a little bit higher than Arsenal in that together, or do you think Arsenal are the one closest to Man City? What's the thought?
Yeah, for me, I feel Tottenham Hotspur, with the
Mm.
manager they have now, Ponta or something like that, his name, the pronunciation of his name.
Yes.
Yeah, so he has been able to bring a fresh drive into the Tottenham team. Losing Harry Kane as well, the team, most of the players have stepped up. We saw the late drama that happened during the last weekend, where they were able to pick up a win, or I guess the weekend before. Yeah, they were able to pick up a win in that late drama. So when you look at it, for me, Tottenham Hotspur look like a team that is a little bit balanced. If you look at the Arsenal Football Club team, like I said the last time we had this podcast, that okay, you sold Balogun, you wanted winning the league, you bought a goalkeeper. Ramsdale has not done bad. So if you are bringing in a Ramsdale that is even older, sorry, bringing a Raya that is older than Ramsdale, and you're investing such money on Ramsdale, instead of, yes, you finished second last season in a league that you were supposed to win, and because you don't have a striker, because forget about all the Martinellis and Saka and all host of other players and Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal needs a world-class striker that can bring in 15 to 20 goals in the English Premier League season in, season out. If an Harry Kane that is in Bayern Munich right now was playing for Arsenal Football Club last season, there is no way Arsenal Football Club would not have won that English Premier League last season, because his goals would absolutely upset Manchester City in winning that league, because there are some games that they dropped, like the game against Brighton and as well Brentford, the game they drew against Brentford. If Harry Kane was playing for an Arsenal Football Club in that game, he'll be able to put in some one or two goals to elevate them to winning the league. So for me, I feel Arsenal or Arteta and Edu should have gone in for a striker that can bring in 20 to 30 goals, 20 to 20, 25 or 15 goals in a season, instead of going to buy another goalkeeper. And as well, you don't have a replacement for Saka, even though Tossard can play across all the positions in the forward position. But you need a striker that can bring in 15 to 20 goals in a season if you want to win the English Premier League. So people might argue that, yes, Manchester City bought Haaland, but he wasn't able to score in the UEFA Champions League semi-final and final. But he was able to keep the defenders of the opposition team on their toes, because they were always worrying about Haaland. So if you have a striker who is always putting the defenders of the opposition team on their toes, then the other players who are the wingers or the attacking midfielders in your team can have a breathing space to score more goals. And we saw that even in the semi-final against Real Madrid, where all the attention was on Haaland, where in the second leg, they brought in Rudiger to mark Haaland. And we saw towards the end of the game, Alvarez came in and he scored those goals because all the attention was always on Haaland. They were always concentrating on Haaland. So if you have a striker that can bully his way, even when Chelsea had Costa, they were always worrying about Costa, but because they had other star players like Hazard, you had even William that a lot of the fans didn't like, was able to spring in one or two surprises because the attention was always on Costa not getting the ball, and they had Fabregas in the midfield as well. So for Arsenal, they have Odegaard, they have Saka, they have Martinelli, but Gabriel Jesus, I don't know what's happening with Arteta not playing him and stuff like that, but they need a world-class striker. Bring an Osimhen into this Arsenal team. Bring an Ivan Toney into this Arsenal team. Or bring an Harry Kane into this Arsenal team. And let's see if they can be able to win the English Premier League. Because if they don't have a striker that can bring in 15 to 20 goals in a season, then believe me, Arsenal is not ready to win the English Premier League. Because for you to win the English Premier League, even the Liverpool team with all the Mohamed Salah goal. Okay, I guess the only season they were able to win the English Premier League was the season Salah and Mane scored 18 goals. I guess they scored 18 goals. That was the only season Liverpool was able to upstage Manchester City with all the firepower they have. Liverpool couldn't win the English Premier League more than once against Manchester City. So if Arsenal Football Club are really serious about winning the English Premier League, then they need to bring in a world-class striker that can bring in 15 to 20 goals in the English Premier League alone, not other leagues. In the English Premier League alone, a striker that can score 15 to 20 goals in a season. And let's see what they can do. But if not, they're not ready to win the English Premier League.
All right. Thank you very much, Abraman. Michael, do you have anything to say to that, or we'll move to another topic? Michael, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you. Can you? Okay, so if you look at City before they got Haaland, they've been winning the league without Haaland convincingly. There was a time even Aguero was on bench. Aguero was on bench. Gabriel was on bench. They go as far as semi-final Champions League. They still won the league. The only season Liverpool won the league was the COVID period. And because there was no fan, I believe the fan that was not available was what made Liverpool to win the league. Because all the fans that are at home are available. It will affect some game of Liverpool. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go on. We can hear you. Go on.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. So as I was saying, you can't say Arsenal. We are saying Arsenal is a world-class striker. Goal is not the problem of Arsenal. What made Arsenal lose last season league was as a result of defense. Saliba injury cost Arsenal the league, and Thomas Partey not have been on the game. Look at the game we drew against Liverpool. There was no Saliba. Against West Ham, there was no Saliba. If you had won those games, even against Brighton, if you had won those games, we scored after sitting in the league last season. They used 5 goals more than us last season. So striker was not the issue of Arsenal last season, not winning the league. It was the defense line. That was why he bought in Declan Rice and a Yorin Timber and a bought in Raya to balance the team. City winning the league for the power apart from Haaland season was not a world-class striker because during Guardiola's period, Aguero hardly played football matches in the EPL and they won the league convincingly. There was even a match he had to bet Gabriel Jesus and Aguero, and they still won their match. So I don't believe fine. They need a striker for maybe a European Continental League, maybe for Champions League. They need a striker for that. But for the EPL, if you are good, you are good. You don't need the striker that good. Because look at Manutd had 15 goals, Saka has 14 goals, Odegaard has 14. Yeah, you've forgotten about Trossard. Trossard had the second most assists in the EPL after De Bruyne. So because they had the firepower, they scored over 88 or 90 goals for the first time in their history. In Arsenal, they had their highest goal in the season in the league alone. That is five lower than match. So you can't say goal scoring is the issue of Arsenal, but it's defense. If you look at Arsenal defense for the past 3 games now. The more compact than last season. So to me, I believe defense, they should work on they're going to defense more now. So they're more better than last season. They can go all the if they bar injury to Saliba and their key players. And they have a just score depth now. Look at how Pereira coming up now. Playing game. Still a trusted on the bench. Partey is not sure of starting. Tomiyasu is on form. So if you can continue this pace, I can bet you that the players never Man City. And I don't need the Africa to win the league. They need seriousness and resilience. And it should be serious with assist. That's my take on that.
Okay, all right. I think if we want to dwell on this, we'll not leave here today. So let me just move to the next topic. Okay, we're going to Chelsea now. Do you think Pochettino is still the right man to turn things around for Chelsea? Abramovich, what's your thoughts? Can Pochettino turn things around? Do they need to sack again and bring another manager? Or do you think Pochettino has got what it takes to turn things around for Chelsea? What is your take?
Yeah, for Chelsea Football Club, they've signed some of the A-list or the best A-list coaches in world football, except for Guardiola and Enrique. I guess those are some of the elite coaches that they've not signed. Mourinho has come back twice. You've had Conte, you've had Tuchel, you've had or maybe Nagelsmann, who has gone to Germany right now. So for Chelsea Football Club right now, the approach of hire and fire would not absolutely work for them right now. Yes, the new owners have come in. They're trying to learn on the job. They sold some of their top players from last season, brought in some players who are not up to the standard of the players they sold in terms of experience and in terms of exposure in world football. But they're trying to rebuild. And as well, injury has been a problem for the team as well. Maybe they need to change their physio. They need to change their physio, who would be taking those players some physiotherapy and as well other training in that team. But for Chelsea Football Club right now, the fans just need to be patient. You've changed a lot in that team. And the issue of Roman Abramovich being forced to sell the club, bringing in new ownership, and the owners are trying to learn on the rope. So for me, I feel, and you sacked Tuchel, you brought in the former manager, what was his name, before you sacked him as well, and brought in Pochettino. So for Pochettino, he's someone who we've seen the job he has done, been able to do in Tottenham, even when the funds were not there. He didn't buy most of the players for high money. He brought in some unknown players and was able to galvanize the Tottenham Hotspur team, almost winning the English Premier League, almost winning the UEFA Champions League, played in the finals against Liverpool. So he's a manager who needs time, even though some people don't really like him because some people tag him as a failure, but he's a manager who knows what he's doing. But right now, if you look at the Chelsea team, it's a team with a lot of inexperienced players, and you have at least almost 11 players on the sideline. So this has shown that the team would struggle. Naturally, the team will struggle, but the fans need to be patient. They need to be patient. They need to give Pochettino this season to understand what he needs to get that team working. Maybe a mid-table finish or a first half of the table finish, and maybe next season they'll be able to bring in maybe one or two strikers who will be better than the strikers they have, and they'll be able to make things happen for themselves. But for Chelsea Football Club fans, they need to be patient. And as well, if you're having one week to prepare, it's another added advantage for you as a football club team. You're not involved in Europe. So the coach, maybe if some of these players come back from injury, he will be able to inject some of his tactics to them, because you will always have 1 week, except maybe if there is the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, but you always have 1 week to prepare for every game, pending if there is no international break. He would always have 1 week to prepare with his players to play an English Premier League game, and this gives him an edge. So if all these players can come back, and you always have 1 week to prepare, then hopefully Chelsea Football Club fans will be able to see. We can see them playing the football, but the thing is that there is no finishing. You cannot say that Chelsea are not moving the ball. They are passing the ball around, moving the ball from left to right, from center, from the midfield to the attack, but there is no finisher, because it makes no sense. Like I said in the last podcast, it makes no sense to have a midfield, 2 players in your midfield costing £215 million, and you have a striker in person of Jackson. So if you want a midfield of 200 million plus, then you should have someone like Victor Osimhen, you should have someone like Ivan Toney, or have someone like Mitrovic, even, that went to Saudi Arabia, because he has the experience in the English Premier League. He has scored multiple of goals for Fulham, even in the Championship and as well in the English Premier League. He can create something out of nothing. We've seen that with Mitrovic. So for Chelsea Football Club fans, they didn't think that very well. You need to bring in a striker. You cannot have a midfield of almost 200 million plus, and you have a Jackson, you have an Ava Broja, Man Broja coming back from injury, playing striking for you. So it makes absolutely no sense. If the owners want to invest well, then bring in a striker. Yes, Nkunku was brought in, but right now he's injured. But Nkunku is not a natural striker. He plays as an AMF or as a winger. So if they are serious about moving that team forward, then they need to splash another cash on bringing in a proven striker, a world-class striker that can score, that can bring something out of nothing. They need that as well at Chelsea Football Club.
Okay. Michael, I'll just come to you now. Do you think they should give Pochettino this season to turn things around, or they should fire him? What is your take, Michael?
Come again with your question, please. Come again.
Okay, I said, do you think Chelsea should still give Pochettino this season or more time to turn things around, or should they look for another manager like they used to do?
So manager is not the solution. Pochettino is not a bad manager, and he brings the attacking football player they need. But looking at what he spent a lot of money before he came in, so you can't blame all of it. This is just his fifth game and manager of Chelsea. So during preseason, they were playing fantastic football in preseason, getting together. But I was thinking, how will you spend over 900 million pounds and you have 11 players injured and the rest on your bench are 21 players? You bought in over 20-something players. So you see that's already 7 players on the bench. After how much you spend, you bought in last season, bought in like over 11 or 12 players. This is they bought in like 6 or thereabouts. That is like 18 or 19. If it's not a cost for them, I think they should check themselves. That's the first thing. Secondly, Pochettino is a good man. They don't need to sack him. They need to give him enough time. Apart from Pochettino in the market now, I think they need coaching. They have that is available in the market. I don't think he needs him. If it comes to, he will have the same problem. If they bring in a Pedro today, they have the same problem. Because the mistake they have made from the beginning, releasing all the expensive midfielder he had. How do you see ability and let's go of the country, the Giorgio and Kovacic? That is not normal. That is a mistake they want to make by using a party. Look at Man, before they brought in Rodri, they had a Fernandinho and they have a Yature. They not allowed both of them to go at the same time. Yature left, Fernandinho was there when Rodri came in. He was blending with the team. When Rodri got the game, Fernandinho started and he was released. That is how a good club on their football. You can't just let go of the whole expensive midfielder and just a small young project again. How do you have 220 in the 106 million pounds? The city expected within. I was expecting them to do in that team. Fine, we have not let Kante play with him. I was the partner of Chelsea. Then he cannot go after this season. That was affecting Pochettino now. Pochettino is a very good manager, but if they release him to go, be downfall of Chelsea. I don't see them competing for the league or even top 4 this season and next season. Before they can get themselves, it will take them another 2 years. To be sincere with you, they can be finishing top 6, top 7 if they take their time. But top 4 this season is out of the race. Because you can look at what Brighton is playing. Brighton are hungry lions. Look at what Tottenham is able to do. So I don't see entering top 4 this season and next season. Except even though they get in a new stage, probably Lukaku that they lose this season. They bought 98 million pounds. So you bring Osimhen and Lukaku, the team is not clicking, it is still on the strikers. Lukaku was there, he was not scoring goal. So we will tell you that Osimhen or Batoni will come and they will score goal. It's not possible. They need to gel in first. They want the twin shots to have the striker, not buy everything at once. Look at that, it's affecting Casedo now. The thing Casedo is a flop already. Well, you can't really blame the boy. But the team he met was what was playing with. And the confidence is not yet there. He is depending on Calvert in Arsenal. The confidence is not yet there yet. The confidence, winning like 5-6 games on the stretch, they cannot have confidence back. They cannot go for a world-class speaker under the sheet. But to get to Osimhen now, I'm sorry, my dear, they will still fall in do again. That's my take.
Okay, they will still lose again. Okay. I'm coming to you, Mr. Shit. We'll talk about the CAF Confederations Cup now. Insurance of Benin. They played a 2-2 draw with RS Berkane of Morocco in Benin. What do you think? What do you think will be the hope of them getting a result in Morocco, seeing that they couldn't defeat the Moroccan team here in Benin? So what is their chances in Morocco?
Their chances is very slim because they're playing against one of the top side on the continent of African football. This is an experienced side who has been there, done that. So for Bendel Insurance, this is the first time they're on the continent for more than 30 years. So it has shown that they need time to gel. But they have players who are playing confidence football. But that day, it was as if the team was playing a negative football. And we saw the post-match conference of the coach where he was angry at the journalist for asking him some germane and important question, but he was a bit angry and saying football is not all about winning. But for me, I feel that's a very wrong thing to say
Yeah,
for a
very
football
wrong,
coach.
very wrong,
You can
very wrong
you
thing to
cannot
say.
say
Very wrong.
you cannot say football is not all about winning. Even people who play at back at street football, backyard football, always want to win regardless. Even if there is no prize money or trophy to be won, people want to win because that's the essence of playing sport. But it's not to win at all cost or win through cheating. But once you play well, you want to win. Every team wants to win. So for me, I feel it was a wrong way for the manager to say things like that and stuff like that at the post match conference. But even though the players let him down, so it should be talking to his players, not to the journalists who were asking him question. Because first of all, it was 1-0, they came back 1-1, 2-1, they came back 2-2. So that showed that something is happening with the team not being able to keep the lead, and they are playing at home. And the Benin fans, as usual, turn up in their numbers to support the team. And you couldn't capitalize on that with the crowd you had at the Simon Muda Stadium to pick that win. So that shows that the team still has a lot to learn. But going on the continent playing against a Moroccan side, there will be a lot of antics on the night, and they will play you. They will play you some kind of football you've never seen before. So it's a good experience for them. Hopefully, if they can go there, if miracle can happen, and for them to get to the next round. But for me, I feel it will be a tall order. To be a big ask for them to beat that team at home.
So what about Rivers United? What is your take on Rivers United? They drew at away. They drew 0-0 away in the Ivorian club. I've forgotten the name of the club now. They drew 0-0. What do you think is the chances also in in Port Harcourt?
Yeah, for Rivers United, that is a team that is experienced in the tournament. In the Confederations Cup last season, they were able to play in the quarterfinal, and right now they are back again in the tournament. So it's not a new thing for them. They are a team that is experienced on the continent. So that's a positive result for them coming back home. Maybe a 3-0 win for Rivers United because they are well experienced at this level. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come over here and beat their opponent at 3 goals to nothing in that game.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Abdulrahman. Now we'll go to previewing the Premier League games and the La Liga games. Michael, are you there? Okay, Michael, are you there? Can you unmute your mic, please? Michael, are you there? Michael, can you hear me? Okay, I don't think Michael is available. Okay, let's just start the previewing of the Premier League game. Man City versus Nottingham Forest. Obviously, everybody's going to go for Manchester City to win this one. So, I just want to know your take. What do you think will happen in this game?
Yeah, 3-1 to Manchester City.
Or 3-1 to Manchester City. Okay, Crystal Palace versus Fulham.
Crystal Palace versus Fulham. A 1-1 draw would be a fair result in that game.
A 1-1 draw will be a fair result. Luton Town versus Wolves.
Wolves should win that game 2 goals to 1.
Okay, Brentford versus Everton.
Yeah, Everton, we saw them put out a fight against Arsenal in that game. A 1-1 draw.
Okay, a 1-1 draw. Brentford versus Everton. Burnley versus Manchester United.
A 2-1 win for Manchester United.
Okay, so Manchester United fans, I know they are happy now hearing this 2-1 win for Manchester United. Okay, Liverpool versus West Ham.
That's a difficult game. A 2-2 draw.
A 2-2 draw. Okay, Liverpool fans, hold your breath. You're going to draw that game. Arsenal versus Tottenham.
Arsenal versus Tottenham. Very, very. Who is at home?
Arsenal is at home.
A 2-1 win for Arsenal. A slim win. 2-1 win for Arsenal.
1 win for Arsenal. That's both. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Chelsea is at home.
A 1-1 draw for Chelsea. They're struggling.
1-1 draw for Chelsea. Okay. Brighton versus Bournemouth.
Brighton versus Bournemouth. A 3-0 win for Brighton.
Wow, that's huge. A 3-0 win for Brighton. Sheffield United versus Newcastle United.
A 2-1 win for Newcastle United.
Okay, a 2-1 win for Newcastle United. That brings us to the end of the Premier League preview game. So let's go to La Liga games now. Alaves versus Atletico Bilbao.
A 1-1 draw.
Okay, a 1-1 draw. Girona versus Mallorca.
A 2-1 win to Girona.
A 2-1 win to Girona. Okay. Barcelona versus Celta Vigo.
A 2-0 win for Barcelona.
2-0 win for Barcelona. Osasuna versus Sevilla.
Osasuna versus Sevilla. A 1-1 draw.
A 1-1 draw. Almeria versus Valencia.
2-0 win for Valencia.
Okay. Real Sociedad versus Getafe.
2-1 win for Real Sociedad.
Rayo Vallecano versus Villarreal.
A 1-1 draw.
Okay. Betis versus Cadiz.
A 2-1 win for Betis.
Okay, a 2-1 win for Betis. Las Palmas versus Granada.
A 1-1 draw.
A 1-1 draw. Lastly, Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid, the big one of the weekend.
A 1-0 win to Real Madrid.
1-0 win to Real Madrid. Okay, fine. Viewers, hope you're noting down all the predictions that you're going to pump this weekend. Hopefully, you come back smiling next weekend when we come again for this show. Thank you very much, Abraham. I appreciate your time. Hopefully, we'll have you again next week. Let's just see how our schedule will go so we can have you around next week. And hope your schedule also favors us.
All right. Thank you, Godwin.
All right, Mr. Michael, I think he has lost his network, so we don't have him online again. So I'll talk to him offline. So thank you very much, viewers. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so now. Subscribe now, and you get mouth-watering football content from us every week. So see you next week again on the same show. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.